Hello everybody. I thought I'd like to share with you a nice easy way of making a recording of yourself doing an online session for your participants for part of your training as part of the blended learning that we're proposing to do. This is quite an easy way of recording yourself using a computer and software. In this case, I'm using Zoom. So the first thing I want to do is to actually share with you my screen, or things that I have on my computer. I've prepared in advance a PowerPoint document, but you can actually, if you use Zoom or something similar to Zoom, you can share, I suppose, any video or any document that you've made on your computer, PowerPoint, photographs to illustrate what you're talking about, or Word documents, anything of that sort, you can share with your participants. So let's go through this. There are two main things to do if you are recording a video for online training. The first thing is the most difficult one, but it's the thing that you do as a professional facilitator all the time anyway. That is to plan your session or your sessions as usual, because of course you can record sessions way in advance of sharing them with your participants. You plan your session as usual, which means that you do the usual things. You decide on your topic, you know what the outcomes are for your session, you know what your participants, what you want them to know and to be able to do after the session, and you plan carefully what you want to say to your participants, keeping in mind that doing a recording is different from facilitating because you don't have interaction with people. So it's just you saying what you have to say without any interaction. So you need to know what you want to say in advance. Then the last thing you need to do is to prepare any documents that you want to share from your computer. So normally we're used to using flip chart papers. So in this case, you might use PowerPoints or photographs, as I say, or any other document that you want to share. Any document that you have on your computer, you can share with the participants in Zoom. And just to be prepared and ready, these should always be open on your computer before you start, so you don't have to scramble around looking for them in your file management system. Okay, that is the hard thing that you have to do. Now, the easy thing that you can do is to actually record your session. It's a technical thing. Record your session. You need to have a computer with a microphone and a camera. I use my laptop for doing this because it has a microphone and a camera. My PC that I have at home doesn't have a camera and it doesn't have a microphone. I think that is the case with the PCs at iTech. They don't have cameras and microphones, so you wouldn't be able to use them. You also need internet access because Zoom doesn't work unless you have internet access. So if you have Wi-Fi or lots of data at home, that's nice. Otherwise, you may need to do this at iTech at work so that you can make use of the internet that's there. You also then need to have video meeting software like Zoom to record your session. But as I say, there are other softwares that are available. For example, Microsoft Teams or Google Meet. I don't know whether you can record sessions on those. I've not done that. I'm using Zoom because I'm more familiar with Zoom than with those other software. So if you want to use Zoom, you've got to download it. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. The free version is very good. You can make a session of up to, I think, half an hour or 40 minutes long, which is probably enough for a session that you want to record for your participants. You probably want to keep them nice and short and sharp and to the point so that your participants don't get bored and wander off. So what is Zoom? Zoom is a video conference sharing platform. But in this particular case, you won't be inviting other people to join in your meeting. It's just a meeting for one. You just set up a meeting and you are the only participant at it. You can, of course, if you want to, you can invite people to join in your meeting, your video, but it's quite easy to do just with one. Zoom is also available from Android. So if you want to use it on your phone or your tablet, you can do that as well. but I use a laptop because it holds steady. I can imagine that if you're trying to record yourself using a phone or a tablet, you're going to be very wobbly and not particularly professional. So there's the icon for Zoom. If you've gone up to zoom.us, you can download it. And this is a typical screenshot of a Zoom meeting or any conference sharing platform meeting. You can see that in fact, you can have up hundreds of people joining in a Zoom meeting from across the world, from New York and Delhi and you name it, Kenya, wherever, London. You can all meet simultaneously and you can see each other and you can hear each other talking. So that brings me to a tip that I have for if you're wanting to give a training video. Try to keep your background as neutral as possible so that your participants are not distracted by cats walking behind you or looking at the books on your bookshelf or your ornaments or your children playing outside the window. Just try and keep it as neutral as possible so that your participants can focus. When you've downloaded Zoom, you can open it. There's the icon. You just click on it and then a window like that will open. Then you will need to click on the new meeting icon, the orange one. What I find when I open Zoom, I need to maximize my Zoom screen. And I do that by clicking on that the square object on the screen, as we are used to doing, to make it big. This is what it looks like when it's big. Take no notice of that photo, that picture of me. I'm sure you can recognize it as me. That picture has a history because it reminds me of Busi Sokopo, our much beloved colleague. She and I were away at some workshop somewhere which we were very unhappy at, and I had taken my painting equipment and I painted this picture of myself looking very sulky. So that always reminds me of Busi Saluka, as Zukila always used to call her. So what you need to do, one of the first things you need to do with Zoom is you need to check that you are able to speak and are able to be videoed. So on the left, there is an icon of microphone and another one of a video. If they've got a red stripe through, that means that you're unable to speak, so you need to undo that. You need to click to unmute the microphone. You can mute it again anytime if you want to. If you, for example, want to cough or sneeze or something, you can always mute it. You need to also start the video so that your participants can see you talking. You can also stop the video at any time that you like. So you just need to check on that. There's a screenshot of me. Now that's more or less what you'll look like, only you'll be much more beautiful and much more gorgeous. When you're ready to begin, when you're feeling relaxed and you know exactly what you're going to do and you've planned everything beautifully, you click on the record button. There it is at the bottom. And you present the session exactly as you had planned. Whatever you wanted to say, you present that session. It's just you talking, so you have to have very clear what you wanted to say. But one of the nice things about Zoom is that you can actually share documents that you have on your computer. As I said, for example, you can share photographs of what you're wanting to talk about, or PowerPoint, or anything of that sort. The only thing is that those documents should already be open or easily accessible on your computer. You click on the share screen button, that green one over there, and lo and behold, whatever you had on your screen will become, it will be on the video. So here I've got a picture of my PowerPoint that I was working on. So you can change the document you're sharing on your video. If you want to swap from for example, my PowerPoint, if I wanted to swap to something else, I can just go to the green New Share button and the floating controls above. There it is, the green New Share. You will notice that the controls have gone from the bottom to the top. So that's so that you can see what's going on with your desktop. But you click on the New Share and you can then see, in this case, I've got an example of the Learner Code of Conduct. for level 4s, and you can go through that document if you want to, as you normally would if your participants were sitting next to you and you were showing them the document on your computer. So your participants will see the documents you're sharing, and you can scroll through them as you talk. You will also see a mini video of yourself. Only you can see this little mini video, and if it gets in the way, you can shift it around. It's just there to show you what you look like so you don't embarrass yourself by scratching your ear or doing whatever you normally would do. You can also control when you share your screen. If you stop sharing, your image will again fill your participant's screen. Like that. A shocking picture of me looking appalling, but you will look much more beautiful and much more gorgeous. And you will carry on giving your session. You can easily pause the recording. For example, if you need to have a cup of coffee, or if the dog is barking outside and you need to find out who's at your gate, you can pause and then you can restart it. When you finish the session, you finish doing your entire session and you're confident that all is well, you can stop the recording. You can do that by clicking over there, or the top left-hand corner where it says recording, you can just click on the stop button there. And when you're completely happy that you've done what you had to do, you just end the meeting. Just click on that button there, you end the meeting. When you end the meeting, your recording will automatically be saved as a video file. And there's a screenshot of a video that I made being saved, converted to a video file, MP4 file. And on my laptop, I don't know about on your computer, but Zoom automatically made a folder. I didn't have to make it, it made it, and it saves everything by date for all the Zoom meetings that I've been to. Your video recording will be saved there. So here in my case, it's in this PC, in Documents, and in a folder called Zoom. And then the recordings that I've made or the meetings that I've been to, any details from them are recorded there or kept there. Zoom records both a video and an audio file. In this case, the video file is the blue one that's called Zoom_naught. You can, of course, rename it. And if I were renaming it, I might name it as, for example, observation and assessment, and perhaps put the date. There's also an audio file. I wouldn't use only the audio file, but it may be nice. You may want to use it, but it's nice to know that it's there. So that's the end of my session on using Zoom to record a video. And what I would encourage you to do is to try it out. Try Zoom out and see if it works for you. Or explore Microsoft Teams, which we have at iTech, or Google Meet, which I believe is a free software as well, made by Zoom, by Google. So try it out and see if it works for you. And that is the end of, I'm going to stop sharing. And then you can see here I am again. I'm going to say goodbye. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it was useful to you. If not, it was fun making it anyway. Okay, bye.